Again, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to try to pedal laryngitis here tonight to TBS Motorsports Mako Auto refinishing night at Columbus Motor Speedway. The first event this evening, as always, a limited sportsman trophy dash. Your fastest four limited sportsman qualifiers. Although I think we did have a scratch here, so Randy Sword may have been fifth last time. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, apparently Sam Ekman scratched for the dash, so Randy Swart, your fifth fast qualifier, starts on the pole. Outside third quick time, second at the point standings, Mike Rush. On the tail, 74 is Ken Swart, and I make that in the third position, Ken Swart. And on the tail, fast qualifier, Jim Cruz. Be advised also, if you haven't noticed it yet, down behind the grandstand, Winston Simulator ride in a NASCAR stock car, I believe also in unlimited hydroplanes. Stop down and check it out. I believe they are letting people other than 21 years old. So the age limit that we thought was going to be on it apparently is not. Randy Ford and Mike Rush. Wheel down the backstretch in lap number one of the limited sportsman trophy dash. Now Jim Cruz trying to make up time in car number 9. Mike Rush begins the back pedal on the outside. Randy Ford now out front. And now Ken Sword couldn't make it stick. Inside of Randy down in turn number 1. Now Mike Rush getting the boot back up on the outside. It should be a close one. But the winner, Randy Ford, hanging on to a close second, I believe, was Mike Rush.
They tell me they are allowing, I think, kids in with a parent or something, probably. So check that Winston Simulator out down behind the main grandstand. And now the lineup for the first limited sportsman heat event. Starting on the pole in car number 65, it's Mike Matthews. Mike Matthews in 65. Alongside car number 93, rookie driver. Two of them in the front row of this event. In car number 93, John Adams. Second row at 23 is John Matthews, and alongside tonight in car number 1, Charlie Osborne. I believe John Mahaffey, the driver of car 24. Outside is Gary Estes in the third row. And finally in car 53, Russ Bob, and alongside Bob Justice in 29. Backstretch, they all keep it going in the east-west direction. Now Don Mahaffey, the leader in car 24. Russ Bob is second. Third is Bob Justice. Bob tries to fend off Bob Justice for that second spot as Mahaffey has it his way. He'll accept the halfway signal this time. And looks like Gary Estes with contact in turn number 1. Gary Estes into the wall in turn 1. It's Mahaffey, Russ Bob, Bob Justice, Charlie Osborne in car number 1 runs fourth. From the Dayton area, we understand. First time ever at the Speedway, as far as I can remember. He holds off Russ Bob and Bob Justice through turns 3 and 4. And now Justice trying to work on the outside of Don Mahaffey for the lead. White flag this time. Now Justice pulls in behind. He'll look to the low side of Mahaffey off 4. But it's Don Mahaffey, the winner. Bob Justice comes home second. Third goes to Russ Bob. Fourth is Charlie Osborne. And I haven't seen that one for a while. We see it a lot in the quarter midget racing over off turn number 2. Don Mahaffey dropping the checkered flag. Never mind. The lineup now for the second limited sportsman heat race. Starting first, Larry Peterson. Alongside in 33, it's Carl Stapleton. Joe Hill and Paul Baker Jr. comprise row number 2. The third row, Jim Kidd and Mike Brown. And finally, out back with that brand new body, car number 0, it's Zero Hill, the budget car sales entry. They're going to race 8 laps. Larry Peterson with the advantage down the backstretch. Now Carl Stapleton. Peterson stumbled off the 4th turn. Stapleton in hot pursuit bumped the rear end, but everybody came through it okay. A lap and a half now down. It's still Peterson, Stapleton, and Hill. The second limited sportsman heat race. Larry Peterson out front in car number 19 from Urbana, Ohio. I stand corrected. Peterson from Bellefontaine, Ohio. Bellefontaine, Ohio driver Larry Peterson. He'll get the halfway signal this time. Sideways off fourth turn. He'll move high and let everybody through. Now Jim Kidd and Mike Brown third and fourth. This time, white flag for Larry Peterson. And the winner, Larry Peterson from Bellefontaine. Second goes to Carl Stapleton out of St. Mary's. Third is Jim Kidd from Columbus. And Mike Brown comes home fourth. Also a Columbus driver. Trophy dash. On the pole in car number 26, your fourth fast qualifier from Columbus, Bill Cantley. Cantley in 26. Alongside car number 19 out of Centerville, it's Carlton Smith. In row number 2, second quick time for this Pickerington, Ohio driver, it's Lonnie Rush. And on the tail in car number 61, Mike Ward. Mike Ward in 61. This is Ward's second fast qualifying effort of 1993. 4 laps for the fastest 4 late model qualifiers. Bill Cantley leads Carlton Smith, Mike Ward, and Lonnie Rush down the backstretch. Carlton hasn't given up. He still forges back on the outside. They'll get the halfway signal this time. Cantley and Ward off the inside of the track. Off turn 2. Now Carlton Smith challenges on the outside, but he's sideways in turn 4. White flag. And your winner in 26, Bill Cantley. That car about half as wide, or half again wider than it should be. They'll have to work on that sheet metal, get it tied down. Officials won't let that happen in the feature race. Mike Ward finishes second. Third was Carlton Smith. And fourth, Lonnie Rush. So Bill Cantley. First late model heat race. Starting first in car 90, it's Ron Freebus, alongside with his first appearance of 1993 at the Speedway, Denny Dean. The second row, Mike Simpson on the inside, and outside in car number 8 is Jerry Johns. Row number 3, Randy Maynard Jr. and Bussy Blackford. Then comes Burgess White and Greg Markham, and finally Dick Dunleavy Jr. Freebus with an advantage off the fourth turn. But now Denny Dean pulls ahead on in turns 1 and 2. Dean with the advantage now. But it's still close. Denny Dean and Ron Freebus. Third place car is Mike Simpson. Fourth in 39 is Randy Maynard. Dick Dunleavy retires. He's off the track in the infield. It's still a battle. Denny Dean, Ron Freebus. Mike Simpson looks to try to split those two cars in turn number 1, but he thinks better of it. The halfway signal out this time by. Cross flags halfway. Now Blackford pulls into that 4 spot. He'll go after Mike Simpson next. Two late model veterans slug it out for the lead in the first heat race for the late models. And a yellow flag as Mike Simpson contact with Denny Dean. Dean goes around. And it goes down to 5 points at a time through 20th position. So that a little bit about the point standings and how they operate here at the Speedway. 7 laps down. Ron Freebus, Bussy Blackford, Randy Maynard Jr. your top 3 for this, the first late model heat race. Blackford wastes little time to the outside of Ron Freebus, and Blackford will lead lap number 8. Ron Freebus relegated to second. And third is Randy Maynard Jr. Greg Markham holds down fourth. White flag this time. Blackford en route to his second heat race victory of 1993. It's Bussy Blackford. Coming home second in car number 90, Ron Freebus. Randy Maynard Jr. is third in car 39. And fourth, 23, Greg Markham. 92 is Donnie Renner. Alongside in car number 15, Mike Carroll. The second row in car number 6, the pilot is Jerry Mitchell, and flanking him in 7, Bobby Edwards. Next comes number 1, Terry Humphrey, and 52, Craig Leist, the guy who finished second in a good drive last week. Next, John Vallow in 21. By the way, Vallow, the feature winner last week, has declined the Clark Oil Challenge tonight. So it goes to $1,600 next week. $1,600 bonus next Saturday night for tonight's feature winner, should he start on the tail and win. Outside of that row with Vallow is 64, Bobby Fye, and on the tail in 94, Robbie Dean. 10 laps for the late model second heat race. Donnie Renner checking out in 92. Jerry Mitchell is second. Now Terry Humphrey third. Now John Vallow squirts underneath Terry Humphrey. Vallow, with the first time this year not in the trophy dash, he runs third in car 21. Halfway. Now John Vallow parks his Burco Trucking Camaro underneath the rear spoiler of Jerry Mitchell. Vallow to the outside of Mitchell in turn 3. Second is John Vallow. I doubt he'll be able to catch the leader. Donnie Renner takes the white flag. Vallow is second, Mitchell third, Terry Humphrey fourth. Half a lap to go now for Donnie Renner, and he'll win easily. Donnie Renner. Second is John Vallow. Jerry Mitchell third. Terry Humphrey fourth, and Craig Leist comes home fifth. So Renner with his first heat race of 1993. First heat race winner, or win for this driver. Dash, Dale Brown and Heavy Hill on the front row. Second row, your second and fast qualifier, Ron Mangus and Donald Parsons the third. 4 laps for the Street Stock Trophy Dash. Dale Brown, the new point leader coming into tonight's racing action, leads down the backstretch. Ron Mangus, the feature winner from last week, fends off Heavy Hill. Now Mangus in sole possession of that second spot. Hill looks to have having a little bit of trouble certainly they did some frame damage on that car last week. Trying to get that car back up to speed. Heavy Hill runs fourth. Dale Brown now halfway through. White flag, Dale Brown. Now Donald Parsons trying to go around the outside of Ron Magus, but they made contact in turn 4. A flat left rear tire on Parsons' car. Trouble also apparently on Ron Magus. Your winner will be Dale Brown. Heavy Hill coasts home second. Ron Magus will make it around third. And fourth will go to Donald Parsons. Dale Brown registers his third Trophy Dash victory of this 1993 racing season. His 78 Chevrolet Camaro is sponsored by Best Auto Shop, Seaton Home Improvement, and Allied Distributing. He was 12th in the 1992 Street Stock point standings as a rookie. Another phone message in the Speedway office. Coming out tonight, DARF members. They've got a booth down near the main gate, so check it out. I'll be giving you a little more information about DARF as the night goes on. Quickly, the lineup for the first Street Stock Heat Race: Gary Lamer and Glenn Miller, James Harding and Herm Hundley, Don Holland, Jim McCauley, Bubba Parsons, Rick Honecker, Butch McAllister, and Fred Hartzell. Got them stacked up 3 deep in turns 3 and 4. Glenn Miller will lead lap number 1. Herm Hundley trying to make the pass on the outside. James Harding is third. Now Herm Hundley, the leader. James Harding pulls into second spot. Jim McCauley now third. It's still Herm Hundley out front. They'll complete the third lap this time by. Fred Hartzell calls it an event in 28. That car 28 sounded a little shaky in qualifying, so Hartzell out in car 28. The leader is still Herm Hundley. Now Jim McCauley and Bubba Parsons put some pressure on James Harding down the backstretch. McCauley second now, and he's closing on Herm Hundley in a hurry. Two laps to go. Jim McCauley pulls alongside in turn 4. White flag this time. Mercury on the inside, a Chevy on the outside. Now Hundley with a hello, how do you do? Oh, in turn 4. Here winner, Bubba Parsons. Second, we'll see who makes the cross, was Don Holland. Third, Glenn Miller. And fourth, Butch McAllister. strong finish in the street stock first heat race. Now the lineup for the second street stock 8-lap heat race. Kenny Thomas, Clyde Trowbridge on the front row. Second row, Brian New in 41 tonight, and Jamie Hunt in 93. Kevin Ingram and Dave Dysinger next. Then comes Norm Ackerman, Mike Hamilton, and Greg Wendell. 8 laps. Kenny Thomas and Clyde Trowbridge go at it. Dave Dysinger with a spin in turn number 2. Greg Wendell misses that car. We'll see if Dysinger can find the ignition there in that 27. And we'll have to go red flag as Dave Dysinger was unable to get that car going again. Dysinger will be eliminated on the restart. Now down. They'll get the halfway signal this time by. Now Norm Ackerman sideways, squirrely in the 4th turn. He'll make it back out. Now it looks like we got a drive shaft on the front stretch. Not sure where it ended up, but I saw it come out. Drive shaft on car 32 of Kevin Ingram on the front stretch. Our ever present infield leader, Leif Irvin. Leif one. Reports are from a track crew that the 93 car might have some fire or at least some smoke off that car, so we're going to have him off the racetrack. Jamie Hunt out in 93. Mike Hamilton now trying to make his way around Brian New. Trowbridge is checking out. Clyde Trowbridge, your leader in 69. White flag. Trowbridge on his way to his first heat race win of 1993. The one, the only, Clyde Trowbridge. Kent Thomas comes across second. Third goes to Mike Hamilton. And 4th is Brian New. Okay, when Clyde comes around now, I want everybody to give him a standing ovation. We're going to give old Clyde a standing ovation when he comes around. Everybody on your feet. Clyde Trowbridge. In the works, we understand a Clyde Trowbridge fan club. Bo Davis and Herb Pennington on the front row of this, the third street stock heat race. Second row, Mike Schweier, Bill Huntley. Jimmy Romans and Bill Wellman are in the third row. Fourth row is Don Townsend Jr. and Tom Idle. And finally, Steve Tuttle in car 17 starts on the tail. Bo Davis down the backstretch, your leader. Bo's got to be tough luck driver of the year in the street stock division. Always qualifying real well and has improved an awful lot, but seems like he always gets involved in some kind of a fender bender in the feature. Mike Schweier runs second. Third, held down currently by Don Townsend Jr. 2 laps in the record books this time by. Now Bill Huntley squeezes beneath Don Townsend Jr. off the second turn. Townsend turns left in turn 3, but Huntley hangs in there. Meantime, Schweier put some heavy pressure on Bo Davis for the lead. Cross flags, you got it halfway this time. Now Schweier can't quite make that pass stick on Bo Davis in turn number 1. Schweier still second. Huntley third. Now Steve Tuttle is up to 4th spot. Still Bo Davis, Mike Schweier. Now Huntley closing in on the lead duo. Davis with that high entry to the corners. Schweier keeps trying to get underneath him, but he can't quite make it stick. White flag. Just about a half lap to go now for Bo Davis. Davis in search of his first heat race victory of 1993. And he'll do it. Your winner is Bo Davis. Mike Schweier finishes second. Third goes to Bill Huntley. And fourth, Steve Tuttle. So a brief intermission before we continue with tonight's racing program. Again, that Winston simulator, I believe it's still down. On the pole in car number 53 from Beaver Creek, Ohio, the pilot is Russ Bob. Russ Bob in 53. You know, funny story about Russ. He was having some dizziness a couple weeks ago. I probably shouldn't tell this, but I will anyway. They said it was having trouble with his equilibrium whenever he moved real fast. Somebody said the race car would probably be the safest place for him since he doesn't. Never mind. So Russ Bob on the pole. Outside in 29 from Columbus, it's Bob Justice. The second row, Larry Peterson on the inside, and alongside in 33, that's Carl Stapleton. Germantown, Ohio, Joe Hill starts inside of the third row, and beside him, it's Paul Baker Jr. The next row in car 25, Jim Kidd, and 20, Mike Brown. Then in the fourth row, make that fifth row, in number 0, the budget car sales entry of Zero Hill, and alongside in 73, Randy Sward. Then comes Sam Heckman in 17. 98 is Mike Rush. Ken Sward in 74. Then we've got your fast qualifier car 9, Jim Cruz. Next, it's Gary Estes in his first appearance of 1993 at the Speedway. And alongside the heat race winner, first time ever at the Speedway, Don Don Mahaffey, there we go, Don Mahaffey in 24. Car number 1 tonight is driven by Charlie Osborne. 23 is John Matthews. 93 is John Adams. And 65 is Mike Matthews. It's sportsman cars. Bob Justice, Carl Stapleton second, Russ Bob third. Still Bob Justice and Carl Stapleton first and second. Now Larry Peterson moves up to third in car 19. Joe Hill way sideways off the fourth turn that last time. He catches it. Meantime, Carl Stapleton challenging Bob Justice for the lead. Mike Brown up to fourth spot. Brown started eighth. He's fourth and challenging Peterson for that third position. Outside of Bob Justice. Brown with the advantage down the backstretch. Mike Brown on the outside. And the new leader is Mike Brown. Bob Justice second. Sworn and 10th, Jim Cruz. White flag. Make that green flag. Russ Bob. Paul Baker trying to work the outside. Randy Swart right behind Russ Bob, trying to get underneath. This time, halfway for Mike Brown. And Paul Baker Jr. is third. Russ Bob fourth. Swore. Now Joe Hill move underneath Russ Bob. Randy Swore fourth. Mike Brown in 20. Second is Bob Justice in 65. Third, Paul Baker Jr. Fourth, Randy Swart. And fifth, Joe Hill. And Sam Heckman with a spin on the front stretch. With Mike Brown, Bob Justice, and Paul Baker Jr., your top three runners. Advantage over Bob Justice. 5 laps to go. Ken Swart trying to make his way around his brother Randy. 50. Bob Justice still second. And your winner, the second feature victory of 1993 for Mike Brown. Bob Justice is second. Third is Paul Baker Jr. A close battle for that fourth and fifth spot. I better wait for official scoring before I give you the rest of the finishing order. No doubt about the winner, Mike Brown. He started 8th in the limited sportsman feature, wasted little time moving to the front, and he walks away with tonight's Mako Auto Refinishing TBS Motorsports limited sportsman feature. Gary Estes. So there's your winner, Mike Brown. Brown's car is sponsored by Buckeye Auto Parts, Brown and Son Tree Service, Beach Performance, and A1 Radiator. Mike was the feature winner back on May 8th of 1993. Starting on the pole in car number 15, it's Mike Carroll. Mike Carroll in 15. Outside of that row in car number 6, Jerry Mitchell. Jerry Mitchell in car number 6. Row 2 in car 7 on the inside, Bobby Edwards. And beside him, car number 1, Terry Humphrey. Row number 3, it's Robbie Dean in car 94, the 5-time track champion. And alongside him, the second place man in last week's feature event, Craig Leist in 52. Another 5-time track champ. The inside of the next row, that's John Vallow. And alongside of Vallow in car 64, the driver is Bobby Fye. Bill Cantley will start next. He's in car 26. Beside Cantley, we've got car 19, Carlton Smith. The next row, your 2 fastest qualifiers, car 83, Lonnie Rush Sr., and car number 19, Carlton Smith. Then comes Donnie Renner and Dick Dunleavy Jr., Burgess White and Bussy Blackford, Greg Markham in 23, and Randy Maynard in 39. Car number 8 is Jerry Johns, 16, Larry, make that Mike Simpson. And the final row, car 12, Denny Dean, and beside him in car 90, Ron Freebus. So again, that Ches Round Oldsmobile pace car leads the field around. Jerry Mitchell. Terry Humphrey runs second. Third, Mike Carroll, but here comes Bobby Edwards. He wants third. Mitchell's been second twice this year. He's looking for first tonight. Jerry Mitchell, the leader. Mitchell. And we got a yellow as Randy Maynard spins in turn 2. Terry Humphrey, Bobby Edwards, Mike Ward, the man on the move in car 61. Fourth in 21, but here comes Mike Ward to second. Nine laps to go. Ward is third. Ward is third. Feature win of 1993, John Ballo from Miamisburg, Ohio. Here tonight's racing program leading the Great Northern Winston Racing Series regional point standings. He took the pass on the Clark. We'll have to check with him next week and see if he wants to try for the $1,600 from the good folks at Clark Oil, the Clark Oil Challenge, up to $1,600 in bonus money alone next week. We have messages for Ralph Stanton and Michael, or say that again, Ralph Stanton and Mike Chapman to the Speedway office at the base of the tower, please. Okay, I'm going to try to make it through this lineup. Starting first in 33 is Chip McCauley. Outside in 72, that's Rick Honecker. The second row, Ken Thomas and Clyde Trowbridge. In row number 3, Brian New and Jamie Hunt. Dave Dysinger and Greg Wendell start side by side in the 4th row. Then comes Norman Ackerman and Mike Hamilton. Next is Herb Pennington, Mike Schweier, Bill Hunley, Jimmy Romans, Bill Wellman, Don Townsend Jr., Tom Idle, Steve Tuttle, Dale Brown and Heavy Hill, Ron Mangus, and Donald Parsons. And on the tail, Bubba Parsons and Bo Davis. That Ches Round Oldsmobile pace car off the track on the backstretch. We're ready to rumble the street stock 25 lap Mako Auto Refinishing bonus buck feature. It's still a tight battle. Ken Thomas looks for a way around. Now Mike Hamilton comes up in car 24. Hamilton started 10th. He's up to challenge those leaders. The track, then back on at 93. Jim McCauley and Rick Honecker still slug it out for that top spot. Mike Hamilton trying to go around those two leaders on the outside, 3 abreast in turns 3 and 4. Now 4 abreast down the front stretch. I knew something had to give there. Donald Parsons moving, Herb Pennington moving. I think that'll be a red flag. So excessive smoking from Herb Pennington's car. Apparently trying to cut a tire down, working on a tire anyway. He's out in 89. The new leader is Mike Hamilton. Mike Schweier now second. Don Townsend Jr. trying to move around Ken Thomas for that third spot. Tough break for Bill Hunley. Jamie Hunt took it too hot down in that corner. He got sideways, and Hunley came out the big loser. And red flag as Bill Hunley up against the fence in turn number 4. Bill Wellman. Of course it's not Bill Hunley, it's Bill Wellman. It's like a flat right front tire. Here comes Townsend trying to work the outside of Mike Schweier. Heavy Hill is up to 4th spot. Dale Brown now trying to squeeze underneath Dave Dysinger for 5th. Dale Brown is 5th in car 13. 10 laps to go. It's still Hamilton out front. Again, Townsend on the outside. Now Dale Brown moves underneath Heavy Hill for 4th place. Townsend can't do it on the outside of Hamilton. 5 laps to go, or make that 6 laps to go this time by. And Dale Brown continues to advance. Dale Brown now 3rd in car 13. 5 laps to go. Donald Parsons has closed on the top 5. Donald Parsons in 22 goes to work on Heavy Hill for 5th spot. Now Dale Brown to the inside of Hamilton on the backstretch. 3 abreast, and there wasn't room for him. Now Mike Hamilton gets that car running. shootout. Townsend with about a 2-car length advantage down the backstretch. It looks like he and Dale Brown will settle it for the win. White flag for Don Townsend Jr. A $100 bonus from Mako Auto Refinishing to Don Townsend Jr., his second win of 1993. Finishing second is Dale Brown. Third, I believe, was Mike Schweier. I better wait on the rest of the finish. I'll get you the remainder of the top 10 rundown as soon as I have it available. But Don Townsend Jr. picks up that $100 bonus from Mako. Dale Brown picks up $75 extra dollars. And $25 additional dollars to Mike Schweier, I believe, the third place finisher. So next week the midgets will be here, plus the third Heavy Hill fourth, fifth Donald Parsons, sixth was Tom Idle, seventh was Dave Beisinger, Brian New came home eighth, finishing ninth was Norman Ackerman, and 10th Bubba Parsons. So that's your top 10 finishing order. We thank you for coming out. Hope you got a chance to